It's a lot of things going on today. A lot of crazy things. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm your host, Tremel Thompson. And I just got a message to tell you guys. Sold not for sale. Everybody can't wear this shirt. Well, it's on them. But like I said, it's a lot of things to talk about today. And hold on one second. Make sure I do something real quick. But let's jump straight into it. We're going to play a video real quick of breaking news. Let's get into the video, man.
Your advisor for Governor Cuomo says Kim is lying, that at no time did anyone threaten to destroy anyone with their wrath. I got to ask you, I don't want you to weigh in on that specifically, but you know Governor Cuomo, you guys have jousted in the past. He says, Kim says that he got this irate phone call that started out, "Are you an honorable man?" And it went for 10 minutes of him yelling and then threats to publicly tarnish him. Have you ever heard of anything like that from Governor Cuomo? Have you ever spoken with him and anything like that happened?
Yeah, it's a sad thing to say, Mika, but that's classic Andrew Cuomo. A lot of people in New York State have received those phone calls. The bullying is nothing new. I believe Ron Kim, and it's very, very sad. No public servant, no person who's telling the truth should be treated that way. But yeah, the threats, the belittling, the demand that someone change their statement right that moment, many, many times I've heard that, and I know a lot of other people in this state have heard that.
Your advisor for Governor Cuomo says Kim is lying, that at no time.
Is Cuomo under attack? Everybody's attacking Cuomo, rightfully so. I mean, at some point, you're going to get tired of the bully. You're going to get tired of the bully. And like they say, all power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Cuomo is feeling it today. Definitely feeling it. He's under attack by his own party. Everybody calling him a bully. You know, this is the reason why our union is afraid of him. And speaking of that, we go get into some union news. This show right here is so important. I don't think you guys really understand. This show right here is so important. If you are a transit worker, and not even if you only a transit worker, because when you're dealing with arbitrations, they use cases from court cases from everywhere, right, to build these arbitration cases. So if you work for another city agency or whatever the case is, and you have FMLA, this is something that you need to pay attention to. This is that show. We're going to talk about that a little later, but I need you guys definitely to share out the show and get as many people on as possible. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the station's department. The booths are closing. I think the writing is on the wall. But I want us to examine a few things that happened leading up to this. Do you guys remember this post right here with Kelly and Utano proclaiming victory? Where Utano said, "This is a huge win for Local 100 and the riders we serve." Do you guys remember this? Now look at this. Look at this post right here. This is by union attorney Arthur Swartz. And Swartz say, meanwhile, the MTA board, even after losing in court, prepares to close station booths. The real first line of defense, stop the closings. Now, once again, let's go back to the other picture. What is Utano and them talking about? Their one. What was the victory if Arthur Swartz is saying that the MTA is still going to close the station booths? What is the victory? What was this huge win Utano was talking about. The only thing the ruling said was that, you know, before you close down the booths, you're going to have public hearings. And they had to follow the correct procedures before not even closing down the booths, but not giving station agents lunch relief. So the booths is going to be covered for 30. Every booth in the city is going to be covered for 30 minutes each tour. Now, the ruling that the Judge Frank Perry, I think his name was, the only thing it was basically a stay of execution, a delay in carrying out a court order. The court order never said that they can't close the booths. It just said that they cannot close it without a public hearing. And this is the problem that we have with Local 100. They count on you being ignorant of the issues because that's how they take advantage of you. And in fact, with anything, whether you're dealing with your union, whether you're dealing with politicians, whatever you're dealing with, you're going to buy a car, you're going to the mechanic, they rely on you being ignorant because that's how they take advantage of you. They count on you not being educated on the issues. They count on you not doing your own research. They count on you to believe everything that they say without you doubling back on their information. This is what they do. This is what our union do. This is how they remain in power. This is how they get away with what they get away with. Is because we are not educated enough on the issues. That's why it's super important for us to watch shows like Progressive Action TV. Now, this is why I say Kelly is a sellout. Robert Kelly, Station's Department VP, no matter what he say, he's a sellout. And he's dangerous to our union community. Somebody need to ask Kelly, what was the huge win? What did we win? Ask him to explain, once again, what union lawyer Arthur Swartz is talking about. If we won, then why is the MTA still closing the booths? Do the MTA have more power than the courts to ignore a court order? What did they really win? But Kelly went out there, co-signed this, and said that they won. Where's the victory if they still allowed to close the booths? Now, it's funny. It's funny when you see this and you point it out and the members still don't care. If you don't care about losing your job, then what do you care about? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing how you could work with people that know everything about LeBron James' contract, know everything about Meek Mill, Jay-Z, and Rock Nation, but don't know anything about the contract that they're governed under, that they feed their family by, that they take care of their household with. That's amazing to me. We know more about other people's business than minding the business of our own, the business that put food on our table. We got to smarten up. Now, another thing I found funny with this whole stations thing is, and not even funny, I'm just speaking sarcastically. Utano is calling for more cops. Foy is calling for more cops. Utano is also saying that station agents are the eyes and ears of the system, and which is true, right? If more cops come, which they automatically added 500 more cops after the 2 killings on the subway the other day on the A train, the MTA will make an argument that we got more cops. Why do we need station agents if the main argument for station agents is safety? We just added more cops. Utano is saying that we need 1,000 more cops on top of that 500. 1,000 more cops come, then what's going to be the argument for stations? What's going to be the argument? The MTA going to say we'll put a cop at each turnstile. Wherever there was a station agent at, we'll put a cop there. What would be the purpose of the job? They took away money from the booths, gave it to the machines. The MTA is still closing the booths for the 30 minutes each tour. What is the argument? The argument is this. The fact of the matter is that station agents was laid off in 2010. What's happening with Omni, no money being in the booth, the MTA making a move not to replace station agents while they out on lunch. Things is coming full circle. Within the past decade, this union administration didn't do anything to strengthen the job protections of station agents. In fact, things have gotten weaker. The Metro card been on the property for like 25, 26 years. What was done to ensure station agents would have jobs from then? What was done to ensure station agents from 2010? From 2010, what was done to ensure that station agents will have jobs in the future? You can't say, oh, they the eyes and ears of the system like they are some type of security. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. It has to be more of a function than that. There has to be more of a function than that. What did the union do to save station agent jobs? Someone explain to me, what did they do? As you see, the numbers on the screen, 515-605-9842. If something is on your mind, you're free to call in. I need to know, what did the union do to save station agent jobs? That's not the answer. Local 100, if you're paying attention, this next video I'm about to play is mind-boggling. It's shocking. I just don't get it. I need you guys to share out the video. This next video I'm about to play is unbelievable. You know how like Biggie say, unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I want to share out the video myself before I play this video. Check out this video right here, man. This is crazy to me.
Be no homeless. That's my thing. There should be no homeless in America. We should help our people.
Would you ever go on strike?
That's not in the cards right now.
Tony Utano, president of the Transport Workers Union, Local 100. Thank you so much for coming on Good Day and sharing your concerns with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. There should be no homeless. That's my thing. There should be no homeless in America. We should.
Get the fuck out of here!
So Utano did some interviews in reaction to the recent crimes that was happening on the subways, and those words stuck out to me. And I want to play it one more time. It gives you a front view of how weak Tony Utano and this Stand United administration is. I'm going to play it one more time. Check it out.
There should be no homeless. That's my thing. There should be no homeless in America. We should help our people.
Would you ever go on strike?
That's not in the cards right now.
Tony Utano, president of the Transport Workers Union, Local 100. Thank you so much for coming on Good Day and sharing your concerns with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Should be no homeless. That's my.
There shouldn't be no homeless. Fake humanitarian. But did you guys hear the mumbling Utano did when he was asked, would he strike? As a union president, as a union, striking is the leverage and should always be in your cards. How can striking not be in our arsenal? The tell of law don't say that we can't strike. It just say if we strike, we're going to get fined and the president is going to go to jail. See, and that's what it is. Utano is a coward, capital C. Yeah, capital C. He knows if he strike, he would have to go to jail. You think that Utano would go to jail for this mostly black and brown membership? You think he would go to jail? He can't get Chiarello to do the time for him. He can't get Yates to do the time for him, even though Yates would love to do the time for him just to show his keep. This is what we dealing with here. Utano is afraid of the governor. He's afraid of Pat Foy. He's afraid of Sarah Feinberg. He's afraid of his own shadow. When has Utano ever fought for the members? I need you guys to call in and tell me. Maybe I'm misinformed. Call in and tell me. 515-605-9842. Maybe I'm not informed. Furthermore, let me play that. Let me just play it one more time because this is. Let me finish my thought first because I'm gonna be all over the place. Does anyone else see an issue with Sarah Feinberg doing a Zoom and filled in our questions, comments, and concerns, and our union president don't even make himself available to speak with the members? Do anyone see an issue with that? Like, that is union busting on the express train about to happen. Sarah Feinberg is doing Zooms with the members, making it seem like, using her technology, that she has our best interest. But they're trying. The union is not even trying to come to our union meetings. The union is not even trying to have Zooms with us. This is exactly how unions get broken. How can the New York City Transit president have more time for us than our union president? There's without a doubt that Utano is not more busier than Sarah Feinberg. Sarah Feinberg is way more busier than Tony Utano. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Andy Byford was way more busier than Tony Utano, but they still found time to address the members, whether it was in their best interest or not. They did it. Our own union won't take a Zoom conference with us to check the state of the union. But I need to play this clip one more time just to show you how weak, how much of a coward with a capital C Utano is. Like, he was stumbling when asked a question, a simple question. Check this out, man.
Be no homeless. That's my thing. There should be no homeless in America. We should help our people.
Would you ever go on strike?
That's not in the cards right now.
Tony Utano, president of the Transport Workers Union Local 100, thank you so much for coming on Good Day and sharing your concerns with us.
Would you ever go on strike? It's not in my cards right now.
Get the fuck out of here!
Somebody get Utano up out of here, man. He gotta go. He gotta go. Now, as far as the assaults technology that the union been playing on the members for a very long time up under this administration, the assault technology. Let's talk about it. Back in 2016, the union celebrated that Cuomo signed a cleaner assault bill. Samuelson said the bill, which we fought long and hard for, gives them protection. To all the cleaners out there, how did this bill work out for you? Are you still getting assaulted? What kind of protection did this bill get you? Let's talk about it. In 2018, the union went back to the theatrics. They went back to their theatrics again, focusing more on a massive media turnout and bragging that 7 television cameras were there. This is what they focus on. Look at the screenshot on this screen. Look what it says. At least 7 television cameras there.
Get the fuck out of here!
What does that have to do with anything? What does a massive media turnout have to do with getting us protections? How does getting the media there saying that there's 7 cameras protect us? How does it protect us? Know what it is? They know that we it's easy to fool us. Oh, people think when they see you on TV that you made it and this and that. We had 7 cameras. What does that mean if we still getting our butts kicked on the job? How has television cameras coming to press conferences worked out for us? Maybe I don't know. Call in and explain it to me. Just the other day, Utano tweeted this, February 12th, 2021. Utano says, the law doesn't give us the respect we deserve, nor the protection that we deserve. Well, somebody explained to me, once again, they posted this in 2016. What happened? They posted this in 2018. What happened? A couple of days ago, he posted this. What happened? So what happened to all these victories that you said happened if we still not being protected? This is where I tell you, they count on us to be ignorant. They count on us for when they tell us something, for us to take it as law. It's not. It's tricknology. It's 3-card Monty. It's a smoke screen. If these guys was employed in special effects and movie effects, they would be billionaires, because this is what they do. Tricknology, smoke screen, green screen, special effects. This is their specialty. What victories have they been talking about over the years if we still getting our butts kicked? This is the fact. Their smoke screen is withering away. The curtain is being pulled back. Their lies is being exposed. And there's more people waking up to see exactly what this union is doing to screw us over. Now let's think about this. Let's think about this logically. In today's liberal climate, right? You got all of this. You got all of this bail reform. We need to close down these jails. We need to remove these people from jail. They don't belong in jail. How are people going to be prosecuted for attacking transit workers with all this liberal stuff going on? The closing the jails, the bail reform, like it don't even make sense. You really think that these people are going to get jail time for spitting on a transit worker? You think that these people are really going to get jail time for assaulting a transit worker when they are releasing people who assault with a deadly weapon? You got people shooting people in these communities. They are coming home with no bail. You think that someone's going to get bail for assaulting a transit worker? There needs to be other measures to make people pay their consequence. There needs to be other measures. There needs to be something else going on, because these tactics is not adding up. They are not adding up. Now, another thing, tricknology is going to be the word of the day today. Tricknology is definitely going to be the word of the day today. So the tricknology that the MTA create. For those who don't know, the MTA, they put out incidents now of when workers are being assaulted and harassed in stations, in subways and buses. Now, this is the smoke screen right here. Now, currently, spitting on an MTA employee is considered harassment. So you will see the harassment numbers much higher than the actual assault numbers. and I'm quite sure other forms of physical contact are considered harassment also, not only spitting. This is being classified this way, the same reason why the NYPD do comp stat a particular way, to make it look like that the crimes that's committed on transit workers isn't that serious. When you see harassment, the average person think about harassing, cursing at them, or whatever the case is. Nobody ain't thinking about physical contact. Nobody not thinking about spitting. It's to create the smokescreen that there's nothing really happening with transit workers in this system. To make it look like our work environments, the workplace violence at our jobs isn't that serious. To make it look like that we're working in a safe environment. This is the games that they play. If the MTA really wanted to be transparent with these assaults and harassment titles that they have and the numbers next to them, they will put what type of harassment would happen. Was the person being spit on? Was they groped? Were they hit with something? What type of assault? If the MTA wanted to be transparent, that's what they could do. They shouldn't just put harassment, and that's what it is. The MTA have the scope to actually put what the actual harassment is with the number next to it. But they don't want to do that because they don't want to alarm us or the public of the seriousness of the workplace violence at our jobs. Because the truth is, if MTA workers aren't safe, then the public is not safe. I've been talking about this for the past 4 years. Tell the MTA to release the crime stats together of the MTA and the public, because when we're in the public, we're one. We're not separate. If crime is up for the riding public, then crime is up for the employees. There's no indirect effect going on here. We are working in the same environment. The callousness of the crimes that's happening on transit workers is that we in uniform, we are public servants serving the people of New York. If anyone is caught assaulting any public servant, they need a mandatory minimum. Forget all this liberal stuff that's going on. Nothing is going to deter people from assaulting public servants. Nothing but a mandatory minimum. Huge fines, liens on people's homes, automatic firing from your job. There needs to be real consequences for assaulting transit workers and other public servants. What the MTA is doing here is technology at its finest. It's at its finest, man. It's at its finest. And we're going to play this next Utano clip. It's another clip of him from that same interview. Listen to this one.
Thank you for having me.
No, the MTA is asking the mayor and Dermot Shea for 1,000 more police officers in addition to the 500 already there. Is that going to be enough?
So yeah, if we get another 1,000 cops, that would be great. And if we get 500 cops, that would be great. I mean, we've been promised police protection many times over and over again, but we can't just have people getting stabbed on the subway and then the police commissioner decides to, okay, we're going to put people in the subway. This has been going on a long time. You know, we have a homeless problem down there. Our members are getting spit on an average of 4 times a week. Thank you for having me.
No, the MTA is asking the mayor and Dermot Shea for 1,000.
Get the fuck out of here!
So Utano admits that we were promised police protection many times over and over again, and Utano does nothing at all. And if you allow Utano and Stand United to tell it, we are so powerful. We're a powerful union, but we can't get people to keep a promise of protecting the people who move this city. Are you serious? Safety is not to be negotiated. Safety is essential, and it's the primary focus of any job. Safety is not to be negotiated. If Utano and Stand United cannot uphold our safety, then what are they here for? If they can't do that simple task of protecting us when we come to work, what are they here for? Somebody explain to me. Call in. Hold on. What are they here for if they can't uphold that simple task? So let me run this down real quick. They can't ensure our safety. They can't ensure that if someone assaults us, they're going to be held accountable. They can't ensure that management won't make us work unsafe. They can't ensure the dignity and respect that we deserve on this property. What can Tony Utano and John Samuelson ensure besides kissing Governor Cuomo's behind for their own personal benefit? See, none of this stuff is about us. None of it is about us. We are used as a catalyst for the friendship relationship that Utano and Samuelson have with the governor. Someone explain to me how having this Stand United, Tony Utano, John Samuelson leadership benefits you as a member. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. I mean, we gotta do something serious and fast, because if we could change them now, we have to change them now. Something needs to be done. Now, this next part of the show I'm getting into is super important. It's super important. I think you guys need to share this out, because this was a huge FMLA loss that we took a few days ago. This is huge. I don't think people understand the severity, and this won't only affect FMLA. This will affect when you call out sick and everything. And this is going to be part one of it. Part two is going to be tomorrow. But this part is so important. Let me get to this. Oh, before I get into that, I just want to play this one more time. I just want to show you guys how weak Utano is. I got to beat this into y'all head of how weak and scared he is. Listen to the mumbling and jumbling one more time.
There should be no homeless. That's my thing. There should be no homeless in America. We should help our people.
Would you ever go on strike?
That's not in the cards right now.
Tony Utano, president of the Transport Workers Union Local 100, thank you so much for coming on Good Day and sharing your concerns with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Should be no homeless. That's my thing.
Would you ever go on strike?
Get the fuck out of here!
We got a call on the line. Let's see who's calling in. Caller 9997. You now live on the Progressive Action TV show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Trammell? This is John Owens, man. I was listening to you. You sound more like a conservative than progressive, brother.
Listen. I
You got a lot of good points.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying you had a lot of good points there, dude, man. It's not just the MTA. It's the whole fucking state, dude. The whole state is like that. You're straight on point, man.
Thank you. How you been?
Yeah, good, man. Good, man. You know, it's interesting how you talked about, Utano is a nice guy, like you always say, but the whole union leadership, man, it's all been a show. It's been like that for a long time, man. You know, they give the members a feel-good bill like that crime bill you were talking about, and it's actually useless, man.
It's a fact. Now, John, you know, I was
it's been like that. Yeah.
John was, for those who don't know, John Owens, he's a bus operator. John Owens had this video floating around on the internet of him showing a fire that the members need to see. I need to find that video, John Owens. Can you find that video for me of you showing that fire when you was at the union?
It's too old, man. It's too old.
But they need to see that.
It's interesting though.
They need to see it.
Yeah, I hear you. But you know what? A lot of members don't know that I got that veterans bill done for the state of New York. You know.
Facts.
And I got 126 merged into MAPSTOA in seniority order. You know, that's never happened in the history of MAPSTOA. So the results is what matter. You know what I mean? Results, you know how it is. I mean, you get up there and, you know, you talk about a lot of stuff. And the big problem, like you say, with the union leadership, that there's a lot of talk, but no results. Absolutely no fucking results whatsoever.
None. But we go create the change, man. I got to speak to you behind the scenes. You know, we don't agree on everything, but I think that there's some things that we do agree on that we need to build on.
No, I'll be honest with you, man. I remember a couple of years ago when you first started, a lot of people in union leadership told me to stay away from you. You were dangerous, man. I was like, listen, man, the man's got a lot of good points, you know, and granted, you know me, I don't buy into race stuff a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more, like you say, you know, they play on people's stupidity. They don't care if you're white, black, or Spanish. If they can take advantage of you and feed you crap and you take it, they're going to go with it, you know?
That's a fact. And in fact, when I get into this next segment, I'm throwing MAPSTOA up under the bus bad regarding this FMLA. But thanks for calling in, John. Good to hear from you, and we could speak behind the scenes.
Yeah. Listen, another thing, too, is if you ever touch, man, I talked to Yates today about workers' comp, man. You know, these workers' comp people down in the MTA, man, they're really, really taking the membership for a fucking ride. And they've been doing this shit for a long time. So I'm hoping that one of your segments, man, you can really hit that workers' comp stuff, man, because members are really being taken advantage of.
I did it back in like August, September, but I am definitely going to do it again. I'm going to do it probably within the next 2 weeks. So you could definitely call in for that show.
Right here. Listen, it's good listening to you, man, and keep up the good work, brother.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Let's take one more caller. Let's see who this is. Caller 8786. You now live on the Progressive Action TV show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Mr. Thompson. Good evening. This is Charlton D'Souza from Passengers United.
Charlton D'Souza, what's going on? Hold on, bro. Before you get into it, right? I just want to tell you that you did an excellent job at the MTA board meeting today. You did an excellent job. I was very impressed with your speech. You heard me?
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm going to say that when Saturday morning, when the stabbing happened, we were all watching it on NYC Loud Labs, the crime scene coverage. And what happened was the police, they didn't put it out on the radio as a stabbing. It basically came out as a DOA at Far Rockaway Station. So we were watching NYC Loud Labs. We saw the crime scene. Everyone thought someone got hit by a train. But then when we saw the police officers coming in with the white uniforms, we knew something really bad had happened. And then when, the cameraman went to 207th Street and he drove from Far Rockaway all the way up there and he got into the system, the police had not even arrived. And he was the first cameraman on the scene, even before the cops got there. So there's a lot of stuff happening.
I don't know. His call dropped. Oh, my call dropped. Let me see. Yeah, his call dropped. Maybe he'll call back. But let's get into the important part of the show. Let's get into this important part of the show. Hold on 1 second. Let me put this back on the screen. Let's get back to this. This FMLA thing is so serious. So serious. Charlton, if you're watching, you could call in at the end of the show. I don't know what happened. But MTA worker fired after using sick time for Atlantic City getaways. Hold on 1 second, guys. Yeah, my phone going crazy. When my phone go crazy, I think that, something serious is happening, but it's regular people. I'll call them back after the show. So MTA worker fired after using sick time for Atlantic City giveaways. Now, we all heard past couple of days, a traffic checker was fired for using FMLA time for his gambling addiction. Now, but what I want to focus on here is how the union, specifically speaking, Donald Yates and Sean Battaglia, is feeding traffic checkers to management, and how this time it hurt the union as a whole. You guys don't understand the seriousness of this situation right here, and I'm going to break it down. Now, this particular case, it went to arbitration, and for those who don't know, an arbitration ruling is risky because it can either hurt the union or it can help the union. Now, an arbitration ruling, don't think that because one person go to arbitration that it cannot affect you. Some arbitration rulings can affect or will affect you as a member, no matter what the situation is. If there's a ruling on it already, then that ruling could be used against you if you commit the same type of infraction, right? So these arbitrations are not about the individual. It's all inclusive. So if something happens in Map Store with arbitration, don't think that it won't affect you in RTO, or won't affect you in TA Surface, or it won't affect you in stations. It will affect you. An arbitration ruling is an arbitration ruling, no matter what the department or title the person may have come from. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this date right here. I want you guys to pay attention to this date right here and the significance of this date, November 18th, 2020. This is a screenshot of a video that Donald Yates made. For those who don't know, Donald Yates is the division chair of Map Store. He can't wear this shirt. He can't wear the sold not for sale shirt. But this is a screenshot of Donald Yates where he making a video about a specific case where he didn't name any names, but he ain't got to name names if management already know who he's talking about. Now, I'm going to say this too. I know a lot of people like Yates, and there's a difference between liking someone and someone being fit to actually do the job and do the job the correct way. I spoke to Yates plenty of times. I think that Yates is cool, but do I think that he's fit to be a union rep? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do I think that he could change with better leadership and better direction? Absolutely. I think that anybody could change with better direction and a better mentor and things of that nature. But right now, as it seems, Yates is unfit to be a union rep. And I'm going to explain why he's unfit to be a union rep. Now, the significance of this date is that the arbitration in which the traffic checker had regarding the FMLA situation and gambling situation is December 18th, 2020. So Yates made this video basically a whole month before the arbitration. Now, we're going to listen to what Yates had to say during this video. So check it out.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. I just got some news that I think everybody's going to want to hear. It's regarding FMLA. We've reached a point where FMLA has reached the MTA Inspector General's office, and they're doing investigations, and their investigation ability has a lot of reach. All right, and we're talking about other state reach. So if you're doing FMLA, and let's say you're doing it because you went and you've extended your RDOs or whatever, you have to be mindful that I'm actually working on a case where the proof that the MTA has is very outstanding, and I just want to give everybody an alert and a warning. When utilizing FMLA, just make sure that you're using FMLA for what you're supposed to use it for. If for whatever reason you are not, the only thing that I can tell you is don't swipe credit cards, don't swipe nothing that can track you back to wherever you have been. All right? That's all I can really speak on right now. Is this but I think I find this very important. We always speak about it in the shop gates about FMLA and being careful how you utilize it. Well, I have a case now, and basically they're tracking people based on how you utilize your credit cards, how you utilize any type of cards that deal with finances, and where those finances expenditures are occurring at. Be safe and be well. Let's have a discussion. I'm going to keep the thread open for discussion. Let's talk about it. I want everybody to be safe. We don't want nobody involved in any disciplinary matters because of this. All right? People have careers here. People have children. People are paying college tuitions and mortgages. You will lose it all. You will lose it all. This is an alert. Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Police officers, in addition to the 500 already.
Get the fuck out of here!
Man. Wow.
If we get another 1,000 cops, that would be great.
Hold up.
And if we get 500 cops, that would be great. I mean, we've been promised police protection many times over and over.
Wow. Wow. Now, let's be clear here. Let's be clear. Union reps act as lawyers, right? What rep or lawyer goes in front of a camera and admit he's working on a case and say the proof that the MTA has is very outstanding? What lawyer would you know? Like, if you hire a lawyer or you're paying for a lawyer and you committed some type of crime or whatever the case is, and your lawyer goes in front of the camera and say the proof is outstanding and the feds finally got a case, or what, would you hire that lawyer? Who says that? Who goes in front of a camera and basically wave the white flag? When he say the proof that the MTA has is very outstanding, what does he insinuate? What is Yates insinuating? That the proof is valid without examining the facts himself? Who will want a union rep who's gone by what the company evidence is without trying to provide a proper fight back for the member? Who looks at the MTA word and look at the MTA word as being law? Who looks at that? What kind of, somebody explain to me what kind of rep, and call into the show, somebody explain to me what kind of rep goes and looks at what the MTA got and look at that as law. I don't care if it's management. I don't care if it's the IGs. I don't care if it's the feds. People hear the MTA IGs and they get afraid and upset. They hear that they was under an investigation. They get afraid. They turn into cowards, capital C. What union rep goes in front of the camera and does that? Now, then he says, this is all I can really speak on right now. Guess what, Yates? You done said enough. In fact, you said too much. There wasn't no need for you to say any more. Talking about, oh, that's all I can speak on right now. You already waved the white flag way before the arbitration date was set. You already gave up on this member because you looked at the MTA evidence without building a fight back. The MTA evidence is supposed to be about lies, deceit. This is what they do. You looked at the IG report and considered that law and considered that the truth and didn't believe your own member. This is why I said that somebody needs to curb Donald Yates. He is embarrassing himself. He is embarrassing this union leadership. Somebody need to curb him and tell him to stay off of social media. This is not his playground. He need to stay off the internet. This is not his playground. There's things that you could say as a rep, and there's things that you can't say as a rep. Just because I'm going out there saying whatever I want, you can't do that. You're not me. You got to handle yourself a different kind of way. You can't. First of all, I would never make a video going and saying, I looked at the MTA evidence and the MTA evidence is outstanding. Who says evidence is outstanding? Who uses that terminology if they not working with management already? See, this is the problem. You guys buy into these people characters. You guys buy into, yeah, it's cool to have a drink with them. They probably invite you to their cookout. They probably give you a dap a certain kind of way. Probably listen to the same type of music that you listen to. Probably got a dance step or two in their closet. Probably dress nice. And you think that they one of you. It don't work like that. There's a difference from having a friendly relationship with someone versus having someone who's going to actually fight for you and know what they're talking about. See, Yates is not that intelligent. Yates don't do research himself. You could, if you smart and you knowledgeable, you could tell that Yates don't do research himself. And then when he do look at the research himself, he interpreted way wrong. He's doing this way wrong. But would you want a rep with this type of mindset to represent you? Let's be honest here. What I noticed that Yates does also is that he like to bathe himself in something called grandeur. He try to make himself seem important. He trying to make himself seem of high rank. This is what he does. And he's doing it wrong. He's doing it wrong. And people actually buy into this foolery. Like people actually like, all right, you could like him. I like Donald Yates. I like talking to him on the phone. When he's talking on the phone, he's talking all this pro-black stuff, but it's obvious he was lying to me. Because he's doing something else with Utano on him. It's obvious that he was lying to me. Now I'm gonna break down the decision. I'm gonna break down some of this evidence, and we're gonna talk about it from a logical point of view, because this shows you that people like Yates don't have the ability to think outside of the box. They don't have the ability to think outside of the box. Sean Battaglia, actually, now Yates made this whole video or a case that I'm working on. Yates did not work on the case. Sean Battaglia went to the arbitration, did the Zoom arbitration, whatever the hell it was, and represented this guy and did it wrong. See, Sean Battaglia, you're a fraud also. Because when I came to Quill Depot, you tried to question me, and I know why you questioned me, because I was young and black, and I know how you felt about it. I felt you seething in the questions that you was asking me. But you don't know what you're doing either. And what's so crazy is that Yates sends Sean Battaglia to go represent traffic checkers. Sean Battaglia is a 6th vice chair. He don't know nothing about traffic checking. He probably go learn. Now I give this to Sean Battaglia. I don't think he's much of as an idiot as Yates. I think that Sean Battaglia is a little bit more sharper. But none of them care, especially about particular titles. Now, let's take a look at the IG report. Some parts of the IG report. I'm not going to break this whole thing down, but I want to point how, Donald Yates, he said the MTA, the proof that the MTA has is very outstanding. Let's look at some of this outstanding proof that they had. So when you read through some of these reports, you got to get through the fluff and the psychology they play with your visual perception, right? Because people, if they see it, they believe it. Or if it looks like a lot, it looks like it's a lot of proof. It's outstanding, as Donald Yates said. For an example, if you could see on the screen, look at Incident 5. Incident 5, it says on Sunday, November 18th, the traffic checker took FMLA leave. Yet the prior 2 days, Friday and Saturday, November 16th and 17th, which were his RDOs, he was at the Tropicana gambling. What does his RDOs have to do with this, and why is it in this report? It's for fluff. Whatever he did on his RDOs should not have been in this report. It's to make it look like the report have substance, because they know when they come across people like Donald Yates, they are going to fold, because he's going to look and say this evidence looks outstanding. We're going to listen to that video again. Now, of course, what the MTA do, they put that in there just to create a foundation for their argument. But you can't create a foundation for something, or you can create a foundation for something, but the union should have been able to argue that. It should have had 1 day in there. He took, on Sunday, November 18th, he took FMLA leave. That's all it should say. The prior 2 days where he was doing at the casino was his business. It was his RDO. This is why I'm going to explain to you guys the importance of them losing this grievance. This arbitration grievance was very important. If you look at incident 9 and 10, they said he was at the Tropicana gambling on December 27th and 28th, which were his RDOs once again. He checked out the next day, which was Sunday, and took FMLA leave. They never said that he gambled that day. Where's this outstanding evidence that Donald Yates was taught? Did Donald Yates actually, can he read? Can he read to interpret? So if you gamble the day before taking the FMLA day, it's possible that you could be brought up on fraud charges if you take FMLA or sick. Because this is basically what they did here. Now, another part of the IG report I want to focus on is part 3, where it say findings, where he broke rule 4.02, which is the public trust part of the agency code of ethics or whatever it is, right? Let's look into that. Let's look at that. Now I'm going to read this. The MTA All Agency Code of Ethics Section 4.02 states in pertinent part that employees shall not engage in a course of conduct that will raise suspicion among the public that they are likely to be engaged in acts that are in violation of the public trust. Further, employees shall avoid even the appearance that they can be improperly influenced in the performance of their official duties, or induced to violate the public trust, or impair their independence of judgment in the exercise of their official duties. Now, the examples that they give of violating public trust, and this is very important to pay attention to. This is their examples. Employees shall not engage in a course of conduct that will raise suspicion. amongst the public that they are likely to be engaged in acts that are in violation of the public trust. Employees shall avoid even the appearance that they can be improperly influenced in the performance of their official duties. 2, induce to violation the public trust or impair their independence of judgment in the exercise of their official duties. Oh, that was the same thing. Well, the example, these are the examples. An employee's undisclosed social relationship with a prohibited source might create an impression if the employee were in a position to act favorably toward the prohibited source in an MTA agency matter. Oh, I forgot a word in there. B, employees shall not use or attempt to use their official position to secure unwarranted privileges or exemptions for themselves or others. C, employees shall not by their conduct give reasonable basis for the impression that any person can improperly influence them or unduly enjoy their favor in the performance of their official duties, or that they are affected by the kinship, rank, position, or influence of any part or person. Now, I should have had that on the screen. When you read in that, and the way that it's interpreted is that this is interpreted not for a traffic checker. This seems like it was more made in for essence of supervisors and managers. The only way that I can see an employee being in violation of the public trust is if a traffic checker is forging data that they collect to benefit another company. I can't see them on gambling on their RDOs. They are violating public trust. And the only way I could see someone actually violating the public trust, like I said, if it's the manager violating the public trust according to the examples that the MTA was given. Now, do this employee have a gambling addiction? Without a doubt. I hear people say he don't have an addiction. And I guarantee you they are basing their knowledge on TV, aka tell lies to your vision. For some reason, people think that addictions, if addictions was a person, an addiction would look like Pookie from New Jack City. If an addiction was a person, addiction would look like Tyrone Biggums from the Dave Chappelle Show. If addiction was a person, addiction would look like Ezel from Friday. If addiction was a person, it would look like Earl Manigault. That's what they think addiction look like. That's not what addiction look like. And I'm going to break down the criteria of what a gambling disorder and addiction look like. And it's not what you see on TV. I got this from the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, also known as the DSM-5, that healthcare researchers use, that psychologists use, and that psychiatrists use. This is not found on TV. You will not see this on TV. I need you guys to understand this. So we're going to break down what gambling disorder look like, because you guys need to understand this. Now, persistent and recurrent problematic gambling behavior leading to clinically significant impairment or distress as indicated by the individual exhibiting 4 or more of the following in a 12-month period. Now, keep in mind, the IGs basically had this following this traffic checker for more than a year. I think it was maybe 2 years. So they should know, and this is what the union should have used in the traffic checker defense. This is the criteria to have gambling disorder. 1, needs to gamble with increasing amounts of money in order to achieve the desired excitement. They said that the traffic checker took $1,380. He was betting that almost every day that he went. Traffic checkers don't make a lot of money. For people who don't know, they don't make a lot of money. He obviously had an issue. Number 2, is restless or irritable when attempting to cut down or stop gambling. He would know that. Has made repeated unsuccessful efforts to control, cut back, or stop gambling. He should know that. is often preoccupied with gambling, having persistent thoughts of reliving past gambling experiences, handicapping or planning the next venture, thinking of ways to get money with which to gamble. He would know that. Often gambles when feeling distressed, helpless, guilty, anxious, depressed. Number 6, after losing money gambling, often returns another day to get even, chasing one's losses. If you look at the IG report, it was obviously he was chasing something in Atlantic City. 7, lies to conceal the extent of involvement with gambling. The IG said that he lied. That's another criteria. Number 8, has jeopardized or lost a significant relationship, job, or educational or career opportunity because of gambling. He obviously put his job on the line because he was addicted to gambling. He jeopardized his job. That's another criteria. Relies on others to provide money to relieve desperate financial situations caused by gambling. Without me knowing him, with me just reading the IG's report, with me just reading just the IG's report alone, this traffic checker had a gambling disorder. Now, this is the facts again. The union told him to go join the program, the UAP program, when this investigation hit the fan. He went to the program from November 30th, I think he said, to he said November 30th or November 18th, or one of those to December 31st, until he got fired, basically, and the MTA cut off his health benefits. Would you believe that Donald Yates nor Sean Battaglia used gambling addiction, gambling disorder, that he may have a gambling problem nowhere near the arbitration? Do you know that he didn't do that? Do you know that the union told this traffic checker to say that the medicine messed him up and not the diabetes himself? Because this is a fact. Anyone who have diabetes know this for a fact. Stress throws your diabetes off the charts. If you're stressed out, then your diabetes is going to be crazy. Who's not going to be stressed out taking losses in Atlantic City? Right? So the significance of the union losing this case is now that the MTA can now say or bring charges on you of fraud, depending on what you was doing before taking sick or FMLA, what you did during FMLA, and what you did after FMLA. That's why I read off those incidents that they said that he had, because the arbitrator ruled on that. Now, the magic question to ask is this: why was he really fired? Was he fired because he was in Atlantic City? Was he fired because he was gambling? Was he fired because he was gambling and in Atlantic City? Was he fired because he was gambling the day before in Atlantic City and called out FMLA even though they have no proof that he gambled on that day? Why was he really fired? Because think about it like this. If you take FMLA and you don't go to Atlantic City, you actually stay home, right? And you go play lotto, or you go bet on horses from your phone, or whatever the case is, and you're gambling, because playing lotto is gambling, whether it's scratch-offs, whether it's playing numbers. People get addicted to that stuff, right? I know a lot of people that's addicted to playing numbers, right? So if you're on FMLA and you go to your corner store, your local store, to go play lotto, and the MTA find out, they're going to fire you for fraud because you was gambling on a day that you were supposed to be sick. How crazy is that? They going to fire you because you gambled on your day off. This is why losing this arbitration case was very significant. Management built a foundation to now fire us off of FMLA. What is the difference if he would have played Lotto locally at his store? Was he fired because he actually went to Atlantic City? Can you not go to Atlantic City and get sick? Is that what they saying? But guess what? Sean Battaglia didn't argue that. Guess what? Donald Yates didn't create that argument. In fact, in the whole arbitration report, they never brought up a gambling addiction at all. In the whole report, they never brought up that he's going to counseling for his addiction. This thing is so crazy that if you're on FMLA, you better off coming to work drunk. Because if you come to work drunk, you're ensured that you're going to keep your job after you go through a program. But if you gamble on FMLA, you're going to get fired. Do you guys see the significance of them losing this case? Why wasn't Yates there? There wasn't nothing more important than this situation right here. There wasn't nothing more. Yates said it himself in the video. We're going to play the video again because you guys got to see the foolery of what goes on here. Let's play the video again.
Some news that I think everybody's going to want to hear. It's regarding FMLA. We've reached a point where FMLA has reached the MTA Inspector General's office, and they're doing investigations, and their investigation ability has a lot of reach. All right, and we're talking about other state reach. So if you're doing FMLA, and let's say you're doing it because you went and you've extended your RDOs or whatever, you have to be mindful that I'm actually working on a case where the proof that the MTA has is very outstanding, and I just want to give everybody an alert and a warning. When utilizing FMLA, just make sure that you're using FMLA for what you're supposed to use it for. If for whatever reason you are not, the only thing that I can tell you is don't swipe credit cards, don't swipe nothing that can track you back to wherever you have been. All right? That's all I can really speak on right now. Is this but I think I find this very important. We always speak about it in the shop gates about FMLA and being careful how you utilize it. Well, I have a case now, and basically they're tracking people based on how you utilize your credit cards, how you utilize any type of cards that deal with finances, and where those finances expenditures are occurring at. Be safe and be well. Let's have a discussion. I'm going to keep the thread open for discussion. Let's talk about it. I want everybody to be safe. We don't want nobody involved in any disciplinary matters because of this. All right? People have careers here. People have children. People are paying college tuitions and mortgages. You will lose it all. You will lose it all. This is an alert. Good morning, brothers and sisters. I just got some
caller 1744. You now live on the Progressive Action TV show. What's your name? Where you calling
regarding FMLA?
Hey, how's it going, Jamel? This is Kenny.
Kenny, what's going on?
We've reached a point where FMLA has reached the
what's going on, bro?
Inspector General's office.
Yesterday I went to,
and they're doing investigations.
The train operator,
and their investigation ability has a lot of reach. All right, and we're talking about other state reach.
And I told them every time.
So if you're doing FMLA,
MTA employees,
and let's say you're doing it because
they really lose the arbitration,
and you've extended your RDOs or whatever, you have to be mindful that I'm actually working on a case where
this in front of a Supreme Court
the proof
decision,
that the MTA has is very outstanding.
The union has
and I just want to give everybody an alert and a warning.
The union member
when utilizing FMLA, just make sure that you're using FMLA
because you probably just educated them just now. They probably just didn't know.
And that was a
for
big
whatever
argument.
reason,
I spoke to Danny Hayes, Patty
you are
Booker,
not.
and I'm like, yo, I keep bringing this up.
The only thing that I
haven't
can
seen
tell
no
you
Article 78 stop.
is
And-
don't
and
swipe
the
credit
worst part
cards,
is
don't
you
swipe
seeing
nothing
employees being
that can
terminated
track
for
you
not doing
back
nothing
to
wrong.
wherever you have been.
But
All
after
right?
the arbitrator say, you know,
That's
this
all
is
I
what
can
it
really
is,
speak on
you
right
know,
now.
fight back after
Is
that. And
this,
the second thing that
but I think
telling
I
him, and
find
we all got
this
into a
this
conversation,
very important.
I came from
We always speak about it in the shop gates
local union,
about
right?
FMLA and being careful how to
every time we had
utilize it. Well, I have a case
meeting,
now,
well, majority of the union
and
you will get to
and
meet your union
basically
lawyer.
they're tracking people based on how you utilize your credit cards, how you utilize any type of cards that deal with finances, and where those finances expenditures are occurring at. Be safe and be well.
They're leaving these uneducated union people to fight legal battles and legal mind games that they're not trained to do.
Yeah.
So we need to fix that problem.
Yeah, I made a mistake and had the video still playing, that Yates video still playing. But yeah, you brought up some good points about the Article 78. And they don't know. Like this is the thing. People don't educate people who's educated on the issues. They elect the most popular person, right? And the most popular person may not necessarily be the most educated on the issues here. And that's a major problem in this union.
But my thing is, and everybody should know, if you're a union guy, even when you're in the union for a couple of years and you speak to other people from other unions outside of our union, you know what I'm saying? Just like we was talking yesterday, like, you know, somebody brought up the fact that I think it was on the 1 or the 6 line, whatever it is, they wasn't doing contract tracing or not when people was getting caught, right? Now, if you're in a real union, and any other union in the city, you know, if a shop steward or union rep knows that there's an unsafe situation, as employees show up, they would be like, yo, don't work today because it's unsafe. We're not working today. You don't never hear of the union rep saying, don't work because it's unsafe. We're going to wait till they fix the unsafe situation before you out of work. They do it at every major site in the city where there's union workers. You have a union rep on site. You call your union rep. You tell them there's an unsafe situation. They come, verify it, and shut down the workplace.
Yeah, I mean, see,
where do our union fight for us?
The thing is that you got to look at who controls the MTA. The union is afraid of Cuomo. They are afraid of Cuomo, so they're not going to stop anything unsafe. You got to understand, anything that deal with us working unsafe here is the stoppage of service. They are not going to stop service under the directives of Governor Cuomo. You know what I'm saying?
No, MTA's not going to stop, but your union that's fighting for your safety.
No. But our union is not fighting for our safety. Our union is fighting to remain friends with Cuomo. That's the difference. We don't have a union independent of this government. You know how they say you got to separate the church and state? There's no separation between union.
100%.
There's no separation between union and our governor. And that's what's breaking us down as members, right? Because you would think that some of this stuff is easy. Like, hold on, all this unsafe stuff going on. Then what's going on here? Like when you look at the lawsuit that
it minds boggle me. It minds boggle me because when I was in the Teamsters, anytime I went to an arbitration or a hearing, we either got prepped by a union lawyer with the union rep there who we're going to be utilizing for that hearing, and that union rep is, you know, I guess, directed on how to proceed by the union lawyer, or the union lawyer is there with you. I've never heard of these lawyers being side by side with nobody. So where our money going? Where is our money going to these lawyers that we supposedly have on call?
The only time you see a lawyer is before you go to arbitration. Like there's absolutely no prepping for cases here. No real prepping, right? The reps is not even prepping. And I mean, yo, it's a clusterfuck of BS going on here, and we need changes. But yo, bro, I'm gonna speak to you later. I want to finish getting through the show.
Got you.
And when we speak later, all right?
Yeah, I just wanted to get that point across, bro.
Excellent point. Excellent point. And we spoke about that today as far as with the traffic checker. But yeah, we gonna speak later.
All right, later, bro.
All right. So check out this story right here. And someone had added me with this story right here on Twitter. MTA ethics manager caught lying about hours misusing pass. A manager. Now, this is what I want to point out right here. This is what happened to the manager when she got caught. She was suspended for 2 weeks without pay and was forced to pay back $1,848 last year, the IG's office said. It also says Aberquin could not be she remains employed at the agency in the same position. So you mean to tell me that a manager who violated the public trust was only suspended without pay and was forced to pay back the money and retained her employment in the same position? Is this what we talking about here? If we were to do that, we are fired. We steal time, we are fired automatically. A manager do this, they get a slap on the wrist, same position, no demotion, no nothing. Keep in mind, the traffic checker was allegedly took $1,380. This manager took $1,848. Manager keeps job, traffic checker fired. Does it matter if the person had FMLA or not? Does it really matter? So there is already precedent here to show that you can steal and keep your money, keep your job if you're a manager. But if you're a regular hourly like us, you still a minute, you're getting fired. You're going to get fired. But this is what we are dealing with here at Local 100. Now, I find it funny. Donald Yates put this post up the other day. He says, I don't talk much when I'm hunting. What are you hunting, Donald Yates? What are you hunting? The only thing I see you doing is feeding members to management. Now, you may be taking care of some bus operators here and there. I'm not saying that you're not, but you don't give a damn about traffic checkers. That's evident. You not hunting nothing. The only thing you doing is feeding members to management. Somebody seriously needs to curb him off the internet. Get him off the internet. He do not belong on the internet. This dude is super weird. Super weird. Super weird. I mean, this is the state of, I mean, you hear so much good stuff about, yo, Yates, yo, yeah, dude, he ain't doing nothing. So many bus operators hit me up and was like, yo, you on point with him, man. About time somebody called him out and this and that. But he got a lot of you guys out there fooled, because you got to learn how to separate the party person from the person who you want representing you. I'm not saying that he didn't help anyone, but Donald Yates fumbling this case changed the trajectory of how FMLA fraud will be attributed to these cases moving forward. Donald Yates is responsible for that. I don't think you guys really understand what's going on. Donald Yates is responsible for that. What is he hunting? All you guys, you know what he go do? Because he can't help himself, because he got to make himself like he got support. He probably go take a picture of people who probably don't know what they taking a picture for, go post it on social media. Yeah, they can't break this unity. Mapstow is strong. Department of Bus is strong. Man, get out of here with that clown. Clowns.
Get the fuck out of here!
None of that clown. And I can't wait to tell you how I really feel. Because You sold your soul. You moving wild and subordinate. Wild and subordinate. And tomorrow we're going to do the show with the traffic checker so he could tell the story himself. Listen, traffic checkers, I got you. I got you. Only thing y'all got to do is just let me know what the issues is, and I'm on it. And then something I need to tell you guys out there, though. Stop telling me things after when you get fired. It's harder to work when you get fired. If you're going through your situation and you're going to arbitration and you send me your case, send me whatever documents that you got. Let's devise a plan. Let's devise a fight back. Don't wait till after you get the bad stuff happen and then you come to me. It just make it that much more harder. Let's try to get in front of the issues. Let's be proactive instead of reactive. I know that the union is used to being reactive. I want to be proactive instead of reactive. When it comes to stations, I got you. I got you. You ain't got to worry about it. I got you. Because stations, traffic checkers, for some reason, they want to treat those titles like they are second-class citizens. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We're going to change the trajectory of how we are being treated as members here on this property. You heard what Kenny called in and said. File a Title 70. Why the union isn't doing that? Because they don't know. But this is why we got the show here, to educate the members. We got you. When I say no man left behind, no man left behind. Enough of the BS, man. People want unity. People want this. Yeah, we want unity, but you want to know what? In order to create unity, you can't unite with cancer. You got to get that cancer out of the body. You got to cut that cancer off. You don't see cancer growing and saying, I gotta unite with that cancer, because what do cancer do when it come in contact with other cells? It turn those cells into cancer cells. And that's what's been going on with this union for too long. We've been associating with cancer cells. Progressive action go be that chemotherapy. Progressive action is going to be that right diet that you need. Progressive action is going to be that right fight back that you need. Progressive action is going to be everything that you need to get that cancer up out of your body. It's going to be the prayer. Whatever you need to make yourself feel good, to get that cancer up out of your body, we're going to be that, because the body of our union is infected with cancer cells, as Donald Yates, as Tony Utano, as Wichard, as Latanya, as Earl Phillips, as Shirley Martin, as Chiarello, as JP Patafio. They are cancer cells. We got to remove them from this union body. This is not a joke any longer. This is not a joke. It's heartbreaking hearing people crying, calling me, grown people, because they got served up to management. Grown people calling me, don't know what to do because the union has sold them out. That takes a toll on me. It's heartbreaking to hear that. You think that I don't want to be a part of a strong union? I got to keep telling y'all this. I want to be a part of the strongest union in the city. Local 100 isn't it. Utano is not it. This is crazy. It's crazy, man. For those who like what they hear, what's going on with the programs, what's going on with Progressive Action and Progressive Action TV, donate to the show. The Cash App is Progressive Action 100. Donate. You could do it via PayPal. The PayPal is Progressive Action. If you watching on YouTube and Facebook, sign on to the Patreon. It's time that we got to start supporting who support us. Support who support you. Love who love you. Like who like you. People throw away their money to the union and don't even hold them accountable. If you like what's going on with Progressive Action and Progressive Action TV, donate to the platform. This is sickening of what's going on here in this union, man. It's sickening, man. I really don't understand like what we going through. I know someone sent me a video of Samuelson saying something about wage freezes. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I'll cover it tomorrow. But I need you guys to donate, show love, show some love to the platform. Once again, Cash App Progressive Action 100, PayPal Progressive Action, Patreon, in the link of the bio. Share out this video, invite people to the page, tell people about Progressive Action, get them involved. Add traffic checkers to the page. It's time we go start a real fight back for that title. It's gonna take some time, but the fight back has started, and we ready. We ready. Trust me when I tell you. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Oh, before I leave, B1. Catch you guys later.